Hello and welcome to the Horsemanship and Mindset podcast with your host, Kimberly Dunn of Idlewild Horsemanship and Mindset Coaching. This podcast is here to bring you the very best in tips, tricks, and advice to help you better understand yourself, your mindset, and your horse, because your horsemanship starts with you. Let's go. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horsemanship and Mindset podcast. I am delighted to have you here. I hope you've had a great week. And before I kick off, I just would like to say thank you to everybody who sent feedback or shared the podcast from last week. Last week's podcast, where I interviewed Valentina about her experience working with me. It went off, and thank you so much to everyone who shared it. I'm so chuffed that it has inspired as many people as it did. So thank you to all who did that. And if as a result of that episode you are a new listener, welcome. I am so happy to have you here. I hope you enjoy listening to the podcast and catching up on any other episodes that you may not have listened to yet. And I hope you get a lot out of it, because that is what this podcast is here for. It's here to help you understand yourself better, understand your horse better, and as a result, just have the best time together. So without further ado, let's dive into today's episode. So, what if one of the most powerful tools that you can access super easily and for free for calming anxiety, building confidence, and regulating that nervous system wasn't another breathing exercise? Because I do love those. But what if it was something else? Perhaps your voice. Have you ever noticed that when you're nervous around your horse, maybe you start chatting to them? I will come back to the chatting thing in a moment. Or maybe you find yourself humming while you're mucking out, or while you're just kind of mooching around doing anything, really. And then singing in the car when you're on the way to the yard, or maybe just talking out loud when you're riding. Now, most people just think that it's a habit. You just think it's just something you do. You don't really think anything of it. But today, in today's episode, I'm going to explain why science says that actually your body is doing exactly what it needs to do. Now, I talk about this a lot when I coach, but there are so many things like singing, humming, talking, that we actually already have within us as mechanisms that help us to relax. We just don't realize it. Things like rocking, rubbing your arms, the physiological sigh, which is the breath. All of these things are already actually within us, and we do them anyway. We just don't realize it. Anyway, today we're going to be focusing on the singing part of that, and I'm going to be looking at, explaining to you exactly why it is actually so helpful. Because singing, humming, and using your voice directly influences your nervous system, and it does help you feel safer, calmer, and more confident. And then, of course, as you will know by now, if you're a regular listener, then your horse will benefit from that too. So, again, if you are a regular listener, you will know by now that we need nervous system regulation. We need to know about it if we really want to truly be able to relax and connect with our horses, because most confidence issues aren't actually a result of no confidence. They're actually a nervous system issue, because when your body feels unsafe, your heart races, your muscles tense, breathing changes, your thinking becomes very, very negative, and confidence magically disappears. Often what happens is we try and think our way out of that, when really what we need to be doing is making our body feel safe first, so that then we can actually tap into that thinking part of our brains and change that thinking bit. Now, let's look a little bit at the sciencey side of this. So, when I talk about the nervous system, when I talk about things like survival mode and things like that, the main physical component of this is the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is one of the major communication highways between your brain and your body. Okay, so that is there to help control your heart rate, your breathing, digestion, and emotional regulation. So when it's activated, it can tell your body you're safe. It can also come into play and tell you you are not safe. And that is where we have those feelings of anxiety, of adrenaline, of stress flooding our body. So, and ultimately, it is there to help keep us alive as part of the nervous system. So, when we sing, what happens physically in our body is we extend our exhale. So that slows and regulates our breathing, which helps to calm the nervous system. We also create vibration through the throat, the chest, and the old face, which then that vibration that goes down into our chest to your diaphragm stimulates branches of the vagus nerve. And when that happens, it helps you to reduce stress hormones, lower the heart rate, create feelings of calm, and it helps to shift us out of fight or flight. Okay? Which is what we all would like. And this is why people will often feel better after singing in the car at the top of their lungs. God knows I love doing that, and it always helps me. Okay? Now, humming. Let's have a look at humming. Humming is also a really, really powerful tool. So you have singing, but humming is even more powerful. Okay. Humming creates vibration just as singing does. But humming, especially when it's kind of there's a voo that you can do, which I'm going to demonstrate, and I apologize in advance. Mavis hates it when I do this. So the voo is, so you're creating like a V, like if you were going to say a V, and then you're obviously humming. So Mavis is looking at me now. She freaking hates it. Sorry, Maeve. I apologize. Go back to sleep. So this creates even more stimulation in that chest cavity, okay? And that vibration is stimulating the nervous system. It also encourages the slower breathing, and it can also create a feeling of grounding. And apparently, on a bit of research for this episode, research suggests humming can even increase nitric oxide production, which then helps support airflow through the nasal passages. So there you go, a bit of a sprinkling of even more science in that. So, what does this mean for you, the equestrian, who would really like to feel a little calmer when you're on your horse? So, if you've ever found yourself like stopping breathing before you mount, so you hold your breath. If you felt frozen before you do something like ask for a canter or you go for a lesson, maybe you've tensed up at a show, or maybe you've started chatting to your horse when you're nervous. So if this happens, as always, a reminder, you are not a broken person. There is nothing wrong with you. What's happening is your body is trying to protect you. And the goal here isn't to force confidence. It isn't to think your way out of it. The goal is to create enough safety within yourself, within your physical body, so that confidence can return, so that clarity of thinking can return. So, when we think about how this connects to our horse, now, something I talk about often everywhere is that, we have this horse human loop between us where horses are really, really sensitive. They are very aware of your energy, of what you are bringing to the table, and they can read your tension. They will notice when your breath changes. They will notice when you are holding tension in your body, and they also notice rhythm. So when we sing or hum, your breathing softens, your body softens, and your movement as a result also becomes more rhythmic. And many horses will visibly relax when their rider relaxes. And also, this goes for the same thing when you're on the ground, too. Okay. Now, I would just like to share a little caveat here with all of that, with the humming, with the singing, and also in particular with the talking. If you are someone that finds yourself talking to your horse when you're nervous, please, please, please consider the tone, and the cadence of your singing, humming, or talking, particularly your talking. I've talked about this on an episode before somewhere. If you scroll back, you will see there's an episode on this. If you are chatting away to your horse and you are very high pitched and you're talking really, really fast and it's all a bit, oh my God, what's over there? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Like that is not something that's going to create calm in you or the horse. Yes, you are creating vibration, but that's about it because you're very high pitched and you're talking very fast. It actually will create that anxious, nervous energy in you and in your horse. Whereas if you can, so particularly in the talking here, it doesn't matter what you're saying. You can be saying, holy shit, there's a tractor coming. Oh my goodness, look at the size of that tractor. Oh, and now there's a bin lorry. If you're seeing all that, but you're saying it in such a way like, holy shit, there is a bin lorry. There is now a tractor. There is a bin falling over. If you can say it in that kind of tone, but we're going to be okay. We're going to approach it. It's all going to be fine. If you can lower your tone a little bit, if you can extend out your words, slow down the cadence of what you're saying, it will be calming for you and for your horse. Okay. Whereas if it's more high pitched, oh my God, look, there's a bin lorry. Oh no, don't look over there. Oh, blah, blah. Even like me doing that now, it's shortening my breath as I'm doing that. And that is going to create more anxiety in me too. So really, really think about the pitch and tone and everything else. Same for songs. I mean, this isn't particularly like I probably wouldn't like sing the Bee Gees or something. There was a video actually I saw recently. It was quite funny, but also not funny. It was somebody was starting their horse, and they had some music on in the background. And it was to Wrecking Ball, and they were leaning over their horse, just about to get on. Horse is fine. It's the slow part of Wrecking Ball. And then just as they lay over the horse, the song goes, I came in like a wrecking ball. And like all the music kicks off. And the horse, understandably, absolutely poos its pants because suddenly the music has gone boof. And bucks the fella off. And it's very funny. The timing is incredible, but also not ideal. Not a great experience with the horse there. But yeah, just a note on then what you're singing and how you're singing it around your horse. However, if you've had a terrible day at work and you would like to release some tension, singing something like Wrecking Ball at the top of your voice and really belting it out, I could not recommend it more. And also, just on a personal note as well, I personally find singing really helpful. I love singing. Can I sing? Absolutely not. Do I keep it to the confines of my car? Absolutely. Only Mavis knows how terrible my singing is, and I would like it to stay that way. But my God, does it help me to shift energy? Does it help me to calm down if I'm doing something like, I don't know, driving somewhere where I might be nervous, let's say a date or something, as maybe a recent example. If I put Taylor Swift on all the way, well, let me tell you what I did. I put Taylor Swift on all the way there, and I sung my head off all the way there, and I definitely arrived feeling a little calmer. Did I then have to do some breath work? Yes, I did. Turns out I have some work to do on that department. However, the singing definitely helped to shift that. So just a little note there on that. So here's a couple of simple ways you can integrate a little bit of this into your routine with your horse. So Number 1, before riding, have a think about like humming your favorite song for a minute. Set a timer on your phone and hum, or just put the song on in the background and hum along to it. Maybe while you're grooming, you can sing quietly. Before mounting, you can take a breath in and hum out the exhale. Here comes Mavis looking at me again. Maybe during a hack, you can chat to your horse, but again, that caveat, practice chatting slowly, practice the tone, practice the cadence slower, not high pitched. We're not going for high pitch. And then maybe if you're competing, and I highly, highly guarantee this, like I cannot guarantee, recommend. I guarantee it will work, but I highly recommend having like a confidence playlist that you can listen to in the car, that you can blast out and sing to, like some really good badass songs. Highly recommend doing that. Now, I think one of the biggest things I want you to take away today from this episode, which is only a little one, it's a little bite-sized nugget of goodness, hopefully. If you find yourself humming, singing, or chatting to your horse when you're nervous, just know it isn't a silly thing to do. It's absolutely not a weakness. It's your nervous system trying to help you feel safe. And actually, let's utilize that and use it. You know now why it works and that it works. So start bringing it in more and more. And it might even just start with like a single breath. It might start when nobody's around doing the singing. But this is a great thing for you to be doing for you, for your own confidence, and for your horse too. So if you haven't done it yet, get doing it because it will really help. So I hope that was helpful. And if this episode resonated with you and you would like some practical tools to help you feel calmer, more confident, and more in control around your horse this summer, I would absolutely love to invite you to join me for the Summer Confidence Reset, which is at the end of June. It is specifically designed for riders who want to stop overthinking, stop spiraling, and start enjoying their horses again. We will be working on this call on your nervous system, confidence, mindset, and I'll be providing practical tools you can use immediately around your horse. It is a group call. There will be a recording. It's available worldwide and it's happening on Monday the 29th at 7 p.m. UK time. I will pop the ticket link in the show notes and there are more details on it there too. So I would love to see you there. And if you're listening and thinking, this is me, I've tried singing and I know something needs to change, but I'd like to dive a little deeper. If that is you, my one-to-one coaching package, Recalibrate, might be exactly what you are looking for. If you listen to the previous episode of the podcast, you will have heard a bit more about this. So we will work on the deeper patterns that you have that are driving anxiety, self-doubt, and lack of confidence so you can feel calm, capable, and actually genuinely enjoy your horse again. You can book a free consultation call. If you email me at info@outerwildhorsemanship.com, we can have a chat around if it's suitable for you. And otherwise, it's been a delight having you here. I hope you have found this episode helpful. If you have and you want to share it, please do and please tag me. And if you are a new listener, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you haven't reviewed, then please review too, because it helps more questions find the podcast and helps me help more people. So that's all for this week. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again next time.